By the end of this video, you're going to have a functional knowledge of how to start a simple budget and use 4 common Google Sheets formulas that you can use on your desktop or like me on your phone. We're building it from scratch. 4 formulas, 10 minutes, let's go. Here is a look at the finished product. As you can see, the sum formula adds up all the budget revenue and expenses to help you understand whether you are making money. The average function shows you the average spend for each category. The COUNTA function shows you the number of budget items you have, and the count function tracks how many categories have amounts. As you can see, I like to keep things simple so that when we're done, you can use this budget and continue bookkeeping your business. Let's get started. As always, I like to start with a blank sheet so that you can learn from the beginning. So, as you can see here, we're going to start with a title. We're going to title it Budget. And I'm going to put the year here too. And we're going to do a monthly budget. But let me show you how to adjust this 2026 so it's right aligned like that. Now I'm going to have title headers. So this is going to be description, or here we'll go category, budget. We're going to do January. We're going to do budget variance. What I want to do here is I want to wrap text to make it look better. And I'm going to center it as well. Actually, we're going to center the whole thing. So let's highlight all of that. I'm going to underline. Now let's talk about category. Let's say it's a YouTube business. So we're going to start with ad revenue, brand deals, and merchandise for total revenue. Now we're going to talk about our costs. Let's do product, software, internet, education, and let's do total expenses. Oh wait, let's do a couple more. Let's do meals, travel, just to have extra. Okay, total expenses. Now I'm going to do another line here. And we're going to do another line here. And I'm going to do net income here. Okay. And here we're going to do borders as well. Do an underline, actually a top line and underline. This one's going to be double. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's fill in our budget. Say ad revenue. We did good the first month, and we actually made money in the first month, which I know isn't easy to do, but we'll do $100. We'll do $50. And then we'll do merchandise sales. Say you have a store, an Etsy store. Let's do 200. So now we're going to do expenses. Say the merchandise costs $100 to make or purchase. Software is $50 a month. Internet is $50 a month. Education, like training or things that you need to do to learn your business, is $25 a month. Meals, let's do $10 a month. And travel, let's do $20 a month. Let's just say it's mileage to the store or whatever. So now I've got a budget revenue and I have budget expenses. Here's where we're going to get to our first formula. So the sum formula adds up a range of numbers, and there's a few ways we can do it. So the first way is to equals sum, open parentheses, then you can highlight the range and close parentheses and hit the green check mark. And now you can see that our total revenue is $350. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. A sum, open parentheses, highlight the range, close parentheses, and now you can see our expenses are $255. Now, another way you can do sum is select individual cells. So we're going to do equals sum, open parentheses, tap there, use the comma, and tap here, B9 and B17. So now you can see $605, but is that right? No, we need to take revenue, subtract expenses from it to get net income. So what we'll do here is just a simple math formula, equals B9 minus B17. Now we know that our net income is $95. So what we can do now is determine what our actuals were. So for January, let's say we didn't have any revenue because we're starting out. I'm still going to copy and paste to get the sum. Then I'm going to copy and paste here as well. We're going to copy and paste here too. Okay, so now let's put in January numbers and see how we did. So let's say we sold $100 worth of merchandise, just to say that we have a number in there to show that the total works. And again, you can see that equals sum C6 colon C8 gets the cells C6, C7, and C8. Now, say we have expenses, $50 for product, software, $50, internet, $50. Say we didn't spend any money on education yet, no meals, no travel. So we lost $50 this month. So let's go to our next formula and talk about count. So the count formula, let's say we wanted to count the number of spending categories that we have. I could type in equals count, open parentheses, and select the range of spending categories, and then close parentheses and hit the green check mark, and I get 0. Why? Well, the count function, if we look at it, only counts cells with a numeric value. If I try here, and I could copy and paste, but let's fill it in again so you can see it. Count, open parentheses, close parentheses. So there you can see that I have 6 spending categories in my budget. But maybe I want to know how many spending categories I actually spent in a given month. So I'm going to copy and paste and see that I only had 3 spending categories with amounts in it. So that's how the count function works. And it's really good when you're trying to understand your budget and your business in a way that gives you more analysis and more clarity into your business. Now, I did this on purpose because there is a way to count text in Google Sheets. And the way you do that is, we'll clear this out. That's one way to clear. Here, I'll undo. The other way to clear in Google Sheets is to tap and right arrow and then hit the clear button. That's a whole lot easier than backspacing. So the formula that you need to count text is count A, open parentheses, and let's count this, and close parentheses. So now you can see there's 6 spending categories based on the count A formula, counting whether or not a cell has a value in it, and it works both for numbers and letters. Let me show you. We're going to copy and paste. I'm just going to show you this as an example of how you can use the sum function and the count A function. You can actually add a comma here and you can select another range. Now, actually let's do 16 here. That would make more sense. Now you can see it counts 12 because count A not only counts text, it also counts numbers. Basically what the count A function does is if a cell has something in it, it will count it. So there's real advantages to that. Let's go ahead and clear this because it probably won't be in your budget. What if you wanted to understand the variance, your budget to actual? We can look at this and we can just do a simple formula equals January minus budget and see that we are $100 off there. Now what I'm going to do, and you'll find this interesting, I'm just going to copy and paste. And I got rid of all of my formatting, but that's okay. It's just easier and mobile to do that. Clear, clear. Oh, wonder if I can paste special. Nope, I can't. Okay, so we're gonna add all this back. I'm tapping the underline A to do that, to get into the formatting. So now I can see I'm $250 short on revenue, $105 short on expenses, so I'm $145 short on my budget. Does that make sense? 95 minus 50, 95 minus negative 50 is 145. So yes, I'm $145 short of my net income budget this month. Okay, the other thing we could do, so I'm going to create a new sheet, and I'm going to duplicate this one to show you the next issue here. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this, clear the whole thing. Now I'm going to see if I can autofill. Okay, now I have all my months. I'm going to do a total out here. And I'm going to do an average. Okay. And center both of these and underline them. Okay. Now we're going to get these to go all the way across. And this formula to go all the way across. I'm just tapping on the blue and hitting paste, highlighting that cell, grabbing the blue dot and dragging it across and paste. I don't know if I did that one right though. No, I did not do that one right. Okay. Now that one's not right. So now we're going to copy this one. We're going to paste across. Okay. Copy that, paste across. Okay. There we go. I'm going to do the borders as well. I really like doing this on mobile because it shows you that you can do almost anything on your phone that you can do on desktop.
If you're learning Google Sheets to operate your business, subscribe today. With over 30 years of accounting experience running businesses, I help startups and side hustles turn their passion into an organized business using Google Sheets.
So now what I want to show you is the average function, since we've done sum, count, and count A. And we're going to do merchandise. And let's just fill in some numbers here. Let's do 50, 200, 35, 75, 250, 100, 25, 40, 60, 20. And we're going to sum. Let's do that first. Equals sum, open parentheses. So I can see my full year budget, or full year actual, excuse me. Close parentheses. And now I can see $955. I'm going to copy and paste here. And paste here. Unfortunately, in mobile, you can't get rid of the borders, but I can do that here just as easy. Clear. A little more complicated here because I still want the top border. Okay. There's all my totals. You can see there. Now, since we have a lot of merchandise revenue, I'm going to show you average. So equals average, open parentheses. So that's N8. And I'm going to go all the way to C8. And it's just easier to do it this way, to type it in instead of doing the range on mobile. So let's see what happens because I did it backwards and it does the average just fine. And look, it changed the formula C8, N8 down at the bottom. You can see that it adjusted and corrected it for us. So now what I want to do is I want to format the cell. There's decimal places here, and I want to do 2 decimals. I want to do that all the way down this list. So I'm going to underline A, or do cell, number format, number. And I can't get the decimals, so we're going to have to do this different, I guess. Okay, let's go here. Let's go down. There it is. Okay. All right, let's put some numbers in here so that I can do the formatting better. Okay. Because I don't have 2 decimal places over here yet. I'm going to run the average down as well. We're going to get rid of those borders. Copy one without borders. Now I can go all the way down. Paste. And go here, copy this one, and paste. There we go. Getting the div error because I don't have anything in here, so let's put in some amounts. 25, 100, 70. Okay. So now you can see how the averages work. Let's do 100 here. The interesting thing that you can do too is you can freeze these columns. So if you tap on A and then tap again, you can freeze a column. Now when you scroll to the right, you can see what you're looking at. So now we have an ad revenue an average of 10, brand deals an average of 25, merchandise, which we filled all the way out, has an average of $79.58. So now you can see how those 4 formulas are really helpful in developing your business. So let's copy and paste the count as well, all the way across, so that we have that for every month too. And you'll see all those counts are working well, where we have 6 categories in our budget, only 3 reported for January, 3 reported for February. The other thing you could do, just so you know, is you can freeze this column as well, or freeze this row. So now you can see you don't have to worry about losing the headers. And it may be better on mobile to delete these rows above so that you can see more detail down below.
Did you know Google Sheets is within Google Workspace? Small businesses like mine use Google Workspace for email, writing documents, consulting Gemini AI, and 2 terabytes of cloud storage. But did you know that if you have your own domain, Google Workspace can give you email like mine, mike@smallbusinesscoo.com? For a 14-day free trial, check out the link in our video description and step up to a more professional system for your customers.
And if you want more template ideas for your small business, you watch this video next.